Hi friends, welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, my name is Tina. I live in beautiful Nova Scotia, Canada, and I'm so happy you're here. And to all my friends returning, hello, I hope you are all well. Today it is a scorcher. It is 34 degrees in the shade and it's just past 5. And I knew it was going to be hot today. The humidity is over the top. So this morning I made one of my favorite dishes, lemon oregano chicken in the slow cooker. It's the same recipe I use lots of times on my ribs in the oven. So you'll have to try this in the oven. It's a little bit different. So I'll be sure to share that recipe with you. Both ways of doing the ribs and the chicken that I'm doing today are so stinking easy, but they are so good that they are company worthy. So I'm going to show you how I made this chicken today, and I also made an orzo salad that is fantastic. Now I generally put cherry tomatoes and black olives in this salad, and I don't have any cherry tomatoes right now, so I skipped them for today, but tomorrow I'm gonna go pick some up to add to the salad. And I don't think I'm even gonna put the black olives in today. So I'm gonna show you how to put these two dishes together. They are perfect any time of the year, but especially when you don't want to put your oven on and it's gonna be a hot day in your house, or you just want something really, really easy to make. So this is a tried and true, well, they're both tried and true recipes that I think you're really, really going to enjoy. All right, my friends, all I am doing is cooking up my orzo pasta, which is tiny rice-shaped pasta, in my salted boiling water. And I'm only cooking it for about 7 or 8 minutes until it's al dente, and then I strain it. And as you can see, I'm putting in my big old Tupperware bowl that I love. And I've just set that aside because I'm going to start to brown my chicken for the slow cooker. And browning it does make a difference. Now, I ordinarily use chicken breast for this lemon slow cooker recipe, but they're really expensive right now, and I actually don't have any in the freezer. But what I do have are chicken thighs. So I have just put 2 tablespoons of butter in my frying pan. Butter does make a difference. You could use oil if you wanted to. And I've taken the skin off of the chicken thighs. These do have bone in them. Totally fine. You can use skinless, boneless if you like. But I got a good deal on these chicken pieces, so I stocked up. And that's what we're having. So I'm just putting them in my frying pan, and I'm going to season them and lightly brown them before I put them in my slow cooker. So here I am just shaking on oregano. Now don't be afraid of seasoning, you guys. It makes all the difference in the world. You can't go wrong, and just season it to taste. But I just sprinkled on some oregano generously, and now my favorite Lawry's seasoning salt. And next, I'm going to take some of my black pepper. I've been using Watkins pepper for, oh my gosh, over 30 years. I love Watkins products. And I'm just going to eventually here, well, wipe up because I made a little bit of a mess, but that's a sign of a good cook, right? So I'm just flipping over my pieces. It's only been, well, you've seen, this is real time. It's only been a minute or two that they've been browning. I'm not trying to cook them through because the slow cooker is going to do that. I'm just lightly browning them. And the backside's got to get seasoned too, as is pardon. We'll leave that one alone. Anyways, seasoning salt, oregano, and black pepper. And then I'm just going to let these brown just until they're nice and golden. And then I'm going to put them in my slow cooker to finish. You can change the seasoning salt for just regular salt if you don't have seasoning salt too, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm just transferring them over to my good old faithful slow cooker. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And they already smell so amazing, and I'm only just getting started. And in case you're wondering, if you do use chicken breasts, you guys, because I've made this recipe, I've been making it for well over 30 years. My mom's partner, Jay, this was his favorite recipe. So whenever they used to come visit me, this is what I would make. But the chicken breasts don't dry out. They're beautiful. But the chicken thighs, they're fabulous. So you can see I put the rest of the drippings in the slow cooker as well. And next, I'm adding my chicken bouillon. This is the kind that I like to use. I get it at Costco. You can get it in regular grocery store, but obviously the price is better at Costco. So my original recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I only had like maybe a teaspoon, if that, left in the jar. So I ended up adding that as well. And I am going to then compensate by adding a little bit more water. So the recipe originally calls for 1/4 cup of water. I'm actually going to bump it up to about 1/2 cup of water. And then you can chop up some fresh garlic. I bought this big old container of chopped garlic at Costco as well quite some time ago, and it's a game saver for saving time, that's for sure. So add garlic to taste. I added about 1 teaspoon. And now this is important. Use fresh lemon. If you're stuck and in a pinch, then yes, go ahead and use what you have. If you have lemon juice in the fridge, in the bottles. But I am going to tell you right now, using the fresh lemon is 100% key in this recipe. 100% key. So I'm just squeezing 1 whole lemon, and then I had 1/2 a lemon left that was sitting on my counter from some tea I had the day before. So I thought, oh, why not? I'm going to throw in that 1/2 a lemon too. So I'm putting in probably close to a good 4 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. The original recipe calls for 3 tablespoons, but you know, you don't have to follow every recipe to a T. And this is one of those recipes, as is the salad recipe I'm going to show you in a few minutes. These are both recipes that you can tweak using what you have and based on your preferences. So I'm mixing up that lemon juice with the chicken bouillon, and I'm pouring it on top of my chicken. And this recipe, which I've been following for years, it says you can just put it on low 3 to 4 hours. And that's pretty much what I do. And then I just keep it on warm. Or you can turn it right off after 3 or 4 hours and then just turn it on high for a little bit to warm everything up. Now, I went through my fridge and I had some peppers that had to get used up. And I am just slicing up a little bit of yellow and orange pepper, and this is for the salad, not the chicken. The chicken is done, by the way. It is done. It is just gonna cook and do its thing. I am just making the salad now. So you can use green pepper, you can use red pepper, use what you have, use what's on sale, and just finely chop some up. And if you want, you could even use roasted red peppers. I've done that before. Those are delicious chopped up in this salad. You can use a combination, whatever makes your heart happy, whatever you've got in the fridge. And this orange pepper, actually, part of it was frozen, which is weird. So the part that was a little bit frozen, I guess my crisper was just getting a little bit too cold in one area. Oh, I don't know. But anyhow, I am just going to end up chopping up those leftover peppers that I'm putting in my little reusable bag, and I'm going to freeze them, and then they can go in soups down the road, so nothing gets wasted. And usually when I'm cutting things up, like my onions or peeling my my carrots, and the celery, like I'll cut them up and save the tops, and I put them in a big old Ziploc bag and keep them in the fridge, and that's for my soup stock. And I'll do the same thing if I'm having a roast chicken. If I don't have time to make soup, I'll just put the bones in a Ziploc bag, and then when I have time and I'm ready to make a stock or broth, I just pull out my veggie scraps and my chicken bones and go to town and make my stocks. So here I'm just using a small red onion. Walla onion would also be fabulous in this salad. I don't recommend using yellow onions. I think that would just be too strong. If you don't like onions, don't put them in. But the red onion is nice, and the Walla onions, well, you can't go wrong with sweet onions. So you can cut them up in whatever size you want, small, chunky, kind of as if you were making a Greek salad. And just put that in your bowl. And as you can see, I've got my Canada Day decorations going on. Okay. Adding some more basil. I love basil. And this is just regular basil. It's not Thai basil. I forget what exactly kind of basil I planted. And all of my herbs are planted that I started by seed. And they do really, really well. Okay. Now this is something I had never added to the salad before, but it's in my freezer. It's edamame, and it turned out to be fabulous. I will definitely be adding it to my salads here on end. And you can add chickpeas, you can add sun-dried tomatoes, whatever floats your boat. And yes, fresh lemon juice. Again, it's one of the key ingredients, but you can certainly use bottled lemon juice in this recipe. Now this was a little bit of olive oil that I had left over. It was a flavored olive oil. There was maybe a tablespoon left in that bottle, so it went in. And then I realized while I was making today's recipe, I was out of red wine vinegar, which I ordinarily use for this salad. So I used balsamic vinegar. Oh my goodness, you guys, that is all I will ever use from now on in this salad because it adds that beautiful sweetness. Now I also added some olive oil, being a little bit generous again with some oregano and some black pepper. And again, you can adjust the seasonings as you like. I'm putting in some feta cheese. That's going to add some nice saltiness, and just mixing it all together. And ordinarily I would add, did I already mention I would add cherry tomatoes that I had halved, and I don't have any, so I added some the next day. And pine nuts. Well, pine nuts are so expensive right now, so I haven't got any in the house, but you can absolutely add some slivered almonds or some chopped walnuts if you want a little bit of crunch. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wish I had added the almonds. I didn't even think about it when I was making this. Alrighty, now that you know how to put these two recipes together, I'm going to show you how I'm going to serve them up for dinner tonight. Ordinarily, I would use chicken breasts in this recipe. Today, I just use chicken thighs because it's what I have, and chicken breasts right now are not on sale and they're really expensive. And this is a fabulous recipe to have just the chicken on the side with the salad. But we are going to have them in wraps, and this is a great way to use this dish. So to assemble, I'm just putting a flour tortilla down, and then I'm going to take a chicken piece, break the meat off, and take the bone out. Look, it's just falling apart. Oh my gosh. So tender and juicy with all those delicious flavors. Okay. Next, I'm going to put some of this delicious salad that I made on top. A little bit of Parmesan. add a little bit more pepper. And some fresh romaine lettuce. And that's it. Okay, and I'm just going to roll this up. And there is a delicious summer dinner. Let's get that chicken in there that just fell out. Delicious sandwich dinner. Perfect for lunch any time of day. It is so great. Okay, let's give this a try. Look at all that goodness. It's delicious. Give this a try. Let me know what you think of it. I think you're gonna love it. And it's perfect for summertime. Thanks for watching, friends. See you next time and take care.